Welcome to the dramatic extramarital stories. It's interesting to note that more than 90% of our viewers engage with our videos, but have yet to hit that subscribe button. If you appreciate these tales and wish to discover more, be sure to click that subscribe button and enable notifications. It takes just a moment, and it enables us to craft even more incredible content for you. Within the esteemed corridors of Blackwood University, a place celebrated for both its scholarly achievements and its rich traditions, lay the lives, mysteries, and fervors of its alumni that subtly challenged the norm. In this setting, Professor Alexander Monroe, a figure marked by years of academic success and a demeanor of understated grace, became ensnared in a complex situation of betrayal that threatened to dismantle not only his personal relationships, but also the intricate structure of his meticulously crafted existence. At the heart of this narrative was Eclair Donovan, a brilliant and fiercely determined graduate student whose inquisitive mind and gentle charisma concealed the tumultuous emotions swirling inside her. Their narrative unfolds with allure, ethical uncertainty, and the embrace of decisions that result in both intellectual excellence and profound sorrow. Alexander Monroe stood out as a beacon of intellectual brilliance. The intricacies of postmodern literature unfolded in his lectures, captivating and demanding in equal measure. Yet, beneath the refined surface of a devoted educator resided a man tormented by the remnants of a broken marriage and a persistent solitude that no achievement or scholarly article could ever satisfy. His existence had settled into a familiar cadence of morning lectures, late nights surrounded by stacks of papers, and solitary dinners in silence. Every day carried with it a quiet desire for connection, a wish for a spark that could shatter the dull routine of his life. Then there was Eclair Donovan, a graduate student whose brilliance was impossible to overlook. She had come to Blackwood University with dreams soaring as high as the ivory towers that loomed over her studies. With a keen eye for detail and a fervent dedication to her research, Eclair's unique viewpoint and bold challenge to conventional theories captivated and disturbed her professors. Among them, Professor Monroe was especially drawn to her thought-provoking remarks during seminars. In the brisk autumn atmosphere of the campus, with leaves transforming into vibrant shades of red and gold, the foundations of their bond began to take root. Subtle, almost unnoticed exchanges of glances, fleeting smiles, and instances when the boundaries of scholarly dialogue drifted into the intimate and meaningful. Their early meetings were purely scholarly. In discussions surrounding literature and philosophy, the duo uncovered a shared fondness for the writings of existentialist thinkers and romantic poets. As the academic year progressed, the lines separating teacher from student started to fade. Following a deeply stimulating lecture on desire and the intricacies of the human experience, Eclair approached Alexander with a question that resonated with unexpressed yearning. It felt instinctive, a simple question arising from a thirst for knowledge. In that instant, an exhilarating spark of uncharted potential coursed between them. As the days stretched into weeks, the two started to gather beyond the boundaries of lecture halls. Whether it was a spontaneous chat over coffee at the campus cafe or leisurely strolls along the tree-lined paths of the quad, every encounter was imbued with a sense of closeness that transcended their professional ties. Within the serene embrace of the university's venerable library, where dust particles twirled in the golden rays filtering through the stained glass, Alexander would unveil pieces of his soul, a woven narrative of regrets, aspirations, and a yearning he had meticulously concealed beneath the weight of scholarly demands. Eclair shared her journey, detailing her battles with self-doubt and the immense pressure to achieve in a world that frequently appeared indifferent to her aspirations. On a brisk winter night, with the campus wrapped in a gentle hush and a blanket of new snow, the palpable tension between them reached an irreversible climax. Their dialogue, both effortless and deeply personal, quickly shifted from discussions of literature to the sharing of intimate vulnerabilities. Alexander felt an undeniable pull towards Eclair's genuine displays of both hope and despair. Her presence seemed to stir the slumbering aspects of his being, igniting the impulsive, passionate nature that had once characterized a young man fueled by insatiable ambition and intense emotion. That evening, Following the conclusion of a campus lecture, Alexander beckoned Claire into his humble office, a sanctuary filled with dusty tomes, scattered papers, and the persistent scent of robust coffee and pipe tobacco. With quivering hands and racing hearts, the walls that separated them fell away. In the soft illumination of a vintage desk lamp, they traversed the delicate boundary between what was deemed acceptable and what lay beyond the realm of the forbidden. Their dialogue evolved into heartfelt revelations, and those revelations gradually transformed into the warm glow of mutual closeness. The room transformed into a cocoon, where time appeared to stand still, enveloping them in a moment where only the depth of feeling and the silent vow of refuge from their solitary existences held significance. The closeness they experienced was a thrilling blend of mental connection and physical desire. Every stolen glance and secret touch in the hallways of learning carried with it a rush of rebellion, accompanied by a whisper of conscience, reminding them that they were not only violating their own principles, but also the faith placed in them by others. Alexander, who had once cherished his reputation and the esteem of his peers above all else, now discovered that those very emblems of achievement were being relinquished for an alluring, albeit illicit, bond. Claire was keenly aware of the delicate nature of their connection. The professor, with his profound insights and kind demeanor, found himself entangled in a complex marital predicament, a truth concealed beneath the surface of professional propriety and societal norms. The thrill of their fresh bond faced obstacles that could not be ignored. With every secret meeting, a silent guilt started to eat away at their minds. Alexander grappled with the conflict of his being, embodying the dependable, esteemed teacher on one hand and the fervent, imperfect individual on the other. The struggle within him was lengthy and fierce, akin to a relentless tempest poised to dismantle the solid foundation of who he was. The nights grew especially challenging as echoes of abandoned vows to his distant partner and the burden of his career responsibilities infiltrated his mind. For Claire, the excitement of a secret love was intertwined with a deepening anxiety about the inevitable revelation of their relationship. She had consistently taken pride in her sharp mind and unwavering sense of right and wrong. Yet here she found herself unguarded in the presence of intense emotions, a contradiction that rendered her both strong and exposed. The secret gatherings were characterized by conversations that carried a dual significance. As discussions flowed and laughter echoed, a subtle tension lingered beneath the surface. Each exit from their hidden refuge seemed to draw them closer to an unavoidable confrontation. Their gatherings transformed into a refuge, providing comfort amidst the shadow of impending downfall. In the coming months, the depth of their connection grew stronger. Late-night phone calls, hushed exchanges, and secret meetings behind closed doors crafted a vivid image of desire intertwining with danger. Alexander's colleagues started to observe slight shifts in his behavior, a fleeting look during presentations, a vacant smile when he was meant to be teaching. Whispers started to echo through the ivy-clad hallways of Blackwood University. Some brushed them off as unfounded rumors regarding a delicate but unavoidable connection, while others perceived them as a violation of the revered principles of academic integrity. Amidst the chaos, Alexander and Claire held fast to their common reality, even as the earth below them seemed poised to give way. As the academic year approached its uncertain midpoint, the intricacies of their relationship started to reveal themselves in ways neither had anticipated. Alexander's domestic situation deteriorated as his focus shifted more and more towards the perilous affair. His partner, noticing the widening gap and the slight shifts in his demeanor, started to sense that something was wrong. Late-night emails and unexplained absences carved a deep rift in the previously unshakable foundation of marital trust, a rift that threatened to expand into a vast chasm of betrayal. Simultaneously, Claire's internal conflict intensified. The challenge of managing her studies alongside the burden of the hidden truth tested her focus. In the quiet hours of the night, within the confines of a modest dorm room illuminated by the soft light of a desk lamp, she found herself awake, grappling with feelings of guilt and self-criticism. In the quiet contemplation, she pondered if the fleeting joy was worth the inevitable sorrow. Her scholarly accomplishments, once a beacon of pride, now appeared marred by the shadow of betrayal. Nevertheless, in spite of these reservations, the charm of Alexander's intellect, the comfort of his comprehension, and the captivating pull of mutual closeness became almost irresistible. The secret relationship soon started to show clear impacts on their personal and professional lives. In the hushed corners of faculty lounges, murmurs of doubt began to circulate, casting shadows over the once esteemed integrity of academic institutions. Each secret gathering offered a brief escape from solitude, while simultaneously serving as a stark reminder of the unavoidable repercussions that loomed if the reality were to be revealed. The unavoidable clash of fervor and obligation was now set on a direct path, and each fleeting instant bore the potential for chaos. On a brisk spring morning, as the campus stirred to the soft symphony of chirping birds and the hope of renewal, the academic community, typically marked by its composed professionalism, found itself shaken by a scandal that threatened to disrupt its enduring principles. The discovery struck with a force that was both sudden and heartbreaking. Once a beacon of intellectual integrity, Alexander's name now bore the weight of whispers hinting at impropriety. In his previously tranquil office, a space that had borne witness to the delicate revelations of secret encounters and the fragile aspirations of an illicit love, the walls appeared to constrict around him. His assortment of meticulously selected books and academic honors now stood as quiet evidence of a personal narrative shifting into shadow. In the midst of it all, Claire was overwhelmed by inquiries, distanced from her classmates, and left alone in the wake of a decision fueled by passion and defiance. The repercussions extended beyond mere emotional turmoil. Their reach extended to scholarly standing, professional opportunities, and lives forever changed. The aftermath unfolded as a tumultuous weave of sorrow and longing. Alexander sought to maneuver through the aftermath by holding on to the belief that the quest for knowledge could validate even the most distressing personal missteps. Yet, as every shadowy recess of his thoughts echoed, the price of illicit affection was counted in broken bonds and faith that could never be wholly restored. His partner, upon discovering the complete depth of the treachery, faced him with a blend of grief and justified anger. The clash was as unrefined as it was unavoidable. A poignant exchange filled with blame, emotional revelations, and a shared recognition that their lives had been forever changed. For Claire, the price was just as harsh. The depth of her isolation was striking. Once celebrated for her intellect and drive, she now found herself burdened by the harsh judgment of society and exclusion from her peers. Even in the darkest moments of despair, a spark of unwavering resilience shone through, a belief that one day the suffering could transform into insight, and that the decisions taken in the reckless chase for connection might become a painful but essential lesson for those who follow. In the ensuing months after the scandal, Alexander and Claire each set out on distinct paths toward redemption and self-discovery. Alexander withdrew into a solitary contemplation, wrestling with the conflicting nature of a man who had attained career triumph while sacrificing personal integrity. His formerly flawless existence now appeared marred by regrets, a haunting reminder that the chase for unrestrained passion can result in irreversible harm. Each lecture he delivered was tinged with echoes of clandestine midnight discussions and the poignant flavor of what once was and might never return. Claire, in contrast, struggled to regain the aspects of herself that had been eclipsed by the affair. During countless, quiet hours in the campus library, she immersed herself in research and creative writing, channeling her inner struggles into both scholarly and artistic forms. Her creations, bold and unrefined, started to draw interest, not just as a topic of controversy, but as a compelling commentary on the repercussions of challenging societal expectations in pursuit of passion. Despite the challenges that littered her journey to recovery, she realized that even the deepest wounds of betrayal could cultivate a resilience that was distinctly hers. The narrative of Professor Monroe and Claire Donovan serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating how the clash of intellect and passion, when approached without caution, can result in lasting scars that endure well beyond the initial act of transgression. In the esteemed corridors of Blackwood University, murmurs linger from an era when the pursuit of wisdom and the yearning for illicit feelings guided two souls onto a journey from which there was no simple escape. In the hushed moments following public scandal and personal sorrow, Alexander and Claire discovered that decisions forged in the fervor of emotion are never isolated. Each choice we make sends waves through our lives, affecting not just ourselves, but also the communities that once looked up to us. Their intertwined experiences, despite being steeped in debate, became a lasting element of who they were, a testament to the fact that even in the quest for beauty and truth, certain limits remain unbreakable. For Alexander, the piercing sting of betrayal carved into his very identity, compelling him to face not just the person he once was, but also the individual he aspired to be. For Claire, being seen as the emblem of intellectual defiance and emotional fragility was a weight she would bear for years, softened only by the understanding that existence, in all its tragic intricacies, must progress. This story serves as a poignant reminder. When passion and intellect intertwine, unrestrained by societal norms or moral dilemmas, they can create both breathtaking beauty and profound sorrow. The narrative of Professor Monroe and Claire Donovan encourages us to reflect on the intricate connections between longing, duty, and the outcomes of our decisions. What significance does this narrative hold for you? Have you ever grappled with the temptation of the taboo, or found yourself in situations where your desires collided with the norms of society? We invite you to express your insights and contemplations. What insights can be gleaned from this intricate tale of betrayal and the essence of humanity? Can we truly find harmony between chasing our passions and the sacrifices required to maintain our integrity? Your perspective is important in this discussion. We welcome your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Join us in a conversation exploring the limits of affection, the obligations that come with authority, and the complex interplay between individual longing and ethical responsibility. Regardless of whether you interpret this narrative as a warning, a heartbreaking love story, or a prompt for profound contemplation on our flaws, we eagerly await your insights. Thank you for engaging with this detailed story. Your involvement not only acknowledges the intricacies of our collective human journeys, but also deepens the ongoing dialogue regarding the cost of wrongdoing and the potential for forgiveness. We encourage you to share your thoughts, engage with us, and delve into the deep questions this narrative presents.